I want you to examine with me the fact to determine if a two-state solution is at this time truly a path to peace or just a dangerous illusion. So as we begin our look at this concept of a two-state solution, I want to talk about three facts that really frame this conversation as you and I look deeper into this soundbite that is repeated how many times a day on media around the world and in university classrooms and in governments. Two-state solution, two-state solution, two-state solution. Let's look at it a little deeper. Number one, let's think about the so-called state that Israel is supposed to negotiate with. The Palestinian Authority has never held free elections since 2006. 2006 is the last time that there was anything resembling a democratic election in the Palestinian territories. Mahmoud Abbas is serving something like the 20th year of a 4-year elected term. And when elections were held in Gaza, Hamas was voted into power. Hamas's charter calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. So who exactly is Israel supposed to create a state with? Number two, no peace plan has ever required an Arab nation to give up any land. Do you understand the map of the Middle East? Take a look with me for a moment at the map of the Middle East. This little dot in the middle here, this is the only Jewish state in the world. Now, do you see it surrounded by all these other nations? Those are all Muslim nations, most of them Muslim Arab nations, surrounding Israel. And in addition, globally, there are other Islamic nations. There is only one tiny Jewish state, smaller than the size of New Jersey, half of which is a desert. So why is it that no Arab nation has ever been asked in a substantive way to give up land? Only Israel. Finally, since Israel's founding in 1948, Israel has made multiple peace offers over and over and over again. I have friends, colleagues of mine, who have literally been in the dialogue, been in the room with President Clinton and Yasser Arafat, with Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat, with other leaders. They've been in these negotiations, and time after time after time, the Palestinians have rejected peace plans from Israel. The idea of a two-state solution, creating a Palestinian state alongside Israel, is presented as the only path to peace. But is this really possible? The media always frames this as inevitable, and even some churches believe that this must be the moral thing to do. But I want you to examine with me the facts, historic, political, biblical, to determine if a two-state solution is at this time truly a path to peace or just a dangerous illusion. The reality is the two-state solution has been offered and rejected over and over again. This goes back, folks, to 1937, the British Peel Commission, before the founding of the State of Israel. This is so important because the media and the extremists will tell you that this was simply a response post-Holocaust. But 1937, the Peel Commission called for this, and the Arab states rejected it. In 1947, the UN Partition Plan called for a two-state solution. The Jews accepted the two-state solution. The Arabs rejected it and chose a war. In 2000, Prime Minister Ehud Barak offered Yasser Arafat over 90% of the West Bank and Gaza. Arafat walked away and launched the Second Intifada. In 2008, the Israelis again offered even more land. The Palestinian leadership refused again. Folks, there is a pattern. The pattern is this: Israel has consistently sought peace. The Palestinians have consistently rejected that peace because the problem is not land. The problem is that the Palestinian people have been radicalized and brainwashed into believing that there is coming this theologically backed day where Israel will cease to exist. The real issue is that the Palestinian leadership and surrounding Arab nations refuse to accept Israel's right to exist as a Jewish democratic state. That's why groups like Hamas have openly called for the destruction of the state of Israel. Friends, a Palestinian state in this current form would be a terror state. It would absolutely cause Israel to have to deal with even more terrorism and even more existential threats to its existence. In 2005, I met with Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. A few weeks after I met with him, Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza, thinking that maybe this would be viewed as a step toward peace. What happened? There could have been farms that were put into place. There could have been all kinds of infrastructure that could have been built. Billions of dollars went into the Palestinians in Gaza. What did they do? They immediately began attacking with rockets. They immediately began building underground terrorist tunnels. A Palestinian state in the West Bank would put major Israeli cities within missile range of terrorists. No nation can be expected to negotiate its own destruction. You cannot ask Israel to negotiate peace with a people who are not ready or desirous truly for peace. Most of these two-state solution proposals call for Jerusalem to be divided. But whenever Jerusalem has been divided in the past, for example, when it was under Jordanian control from 48 to 67, there was not real religious freedom for all faiths. Jews were banned from praying at the Western Wall. Christians could not worship freely. Under Israeli sovereignty, all religions have access to the holy sites, something that is unheard of under previous rulers. And in most Islamic states, there may be window dressing religious freedom, but it is not genuine religious freedom. Within Israel, there is genuine religious freedom for all religions. Are we going to take the city of Jerusalem and divide it and not allow religious freedom for all three Abrahamic faiths? So I want to tell us today, as we look at this mantra of a two-state solution. You know, I think of other mantras of the recent past. I'm not going to get into them right now, but I think all of us can remember things that the media pushes us to do, actions that the media tells us to take, that we feel overwhelming pressure about. And we're bombarded by this message on all sides. And it becomes a fervor. It becomes a movement without deeply considering it. Folks, the truth of the matter is, Israel and the Jewish people have been open to and have offered a two-state solution all the way since 1937. That is the reality. On the opposite side, there is not a genuine openness to the continuation and flourishing of the Jewish and democratic state of Israel. And until the Palestinian people and the enablers of the Palestinian people in the West, who are mostly the woke, so-called intelligentsia on university campuses and radical Islamists in places like Iran, until that is deconstructed and until we come to a reality that the Jewish and democratic state of Israel is not going anywhere, when that fact is accepted and when we come to the table with that reality, then and only then can the idea of a two-state solution be truly discussed. I hope this has been a helpful, deeper dive into that phrase, two-state solution. Like, subscribe, follow, share, tell the truth, work, and pray for the peace of Jerusalem.